We're about to have our Board of Works and Safety meeting today. Before we start, we're going to have an invocation. We're going to do the pledge. If you don't want to participate in the invocation, it is certainly all right. It is your right. And whether or not you participate in the invocation has no bearing on the business that you've come here to do today. We offer the invocation open to all denominations and faiths, colors, creeds, and at any time you just call my secretary and she'll line up if you have somebody that would like to do the invocation. Today we're honored to have Knox Bullock from the Bible Church, the Woodland Bible Church, that's going to be doing it. So we're going to stand, and Clerk Treasurer Julie Greason's going to lead us in the pledge, and then we'll have our invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing, please.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that you've given to us. We thank you for our city of Connersville and the fact that we're now celebrating 200 years. We thank you for all of the citizens of our good city. And we thank you for our mayor and this Board of Public Works. And we thank you for their commitment of time and effort to make Connersville a better city. We're asking that you would bless them and direct them as they make decisions to help our city go forward. They want, and all of us want, the very best for Connersville. Help us to find that. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, sir,
very much.
Call the official start of the meeting. Our first order of business will be roll call.
Jane Oakley. Present. Fran Shulman.
Present.
Leonard Urban.
Present.
Mike Bishop.
Present.
Ron Colmeyer.
Present. All are present. We have a quorum. We can do business. Second order of business will be everybody turn off their cell phones, turn them down to the low ringer, the no ring, or the vibrate. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then we will have the reading of the minutes of the last Board of Works Public Safety meeting.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we accept the minutes as they've been presented.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor that we accept the minutes as they were presented to the Board of Works. Are there any additions or corrections? None appearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. I think the first order of business here is a request from the Raleigh Hospital, from the Rotary Club, for a bucket drive, and that would be our own professional referee, Bob Slichty. Bob, how are you today?
Thank you. My name is Bob Slichty. I represent the Connersville Rotary Club. We'd like permission of the Board of Public Works to have our 4th or 5th annual bucket drive on May the 11th. Be the second Saturday in May. Raleigh Hospital is one of our pet charities that we try to do something special for every year. And in the past 4 or 5 years, we usually collect about $1,000 from our toll booths at 6th and Central and 24th and Grand Avenue from 8 to 12 o'clock. So we'd like permission to have our toll booths. We know we have our safety cones and our safety vests. We always get to the street department that week before, so we're aware of the safety restrictions we have, but we'd like the permission to have our bucket drive on May the 11th.
Just 2 locations, not 3.
Just 2 locations. We don't have, we'd like to do 3, but we have trouble getting 2.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's your pleasure, Board?
It says May 10 on here. Is it
It's May 10 on here.
It says May 10's on our agenda.
What's the right date on this?
Calendar.
You told me May 10th, but if you want 11, that's fine. It's okay.
Yes.
Is 11th Saturday?
May 11th.
It's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
What's the locations you gonna have down there?
6th and Central and 24th and Grand.
24, okay.
I move, Your Honor, we accept this request for a bucket drive for the Rotary Club for Raleigh Hospital on May the 11th, requested by Mr. Slichty.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second to allow this bucket drive on May 11th for the Rotary Club for Raleigh Hospital. Any discussion?
No, sir.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank
Thank
you,
you very
Bob.
much.
Thank you.
We have a 5K road race, Fayette Regional representative should be here.
Sorry, Melissa, I didn't get that.
Siri has arrived.
Siri has no mute.
So I can hear it.
I'm glad that was you.
Is that you, Melissa? If you'll state your name so they get it on TV.
Sure. I'm Teresa Hill. I'm a volunteer coach for the Connersville High School cross-country team.
And I'm Anita James, Director of Rehabilitation at the hospital.
How do you do?
And what we were requesting is on April 13th, we would like to run the Fayette 5K. This will be the 4th annual Fayette 5K. It is sponsored by Fayette Regional and with assistance from the cross-country team. We're doing it as a fundraiser. The race will start at 9 a.m. There'll be several, we block off between 19th and 20th on Indiana, and that's the setup area. That's where the race will start. And then I do have the route, if you want the entire route that they would run. It's the same as it's been the last 4 years.
You'll need it.
I need it,
You need it?
yeah.
What's
You can give it
this?
to me afterwards or now, whatever.
Right here,
Okay, thank you.
okay? And mainly for the points of interest will be when we cross Park Road going into the park. We cross back over Park Road coming back out of the park. Those will be, and then when we come a short distance down Grand Avenue. That's the main congested areas that we're in. Other than that, we're pretty within minor blocks. We expect about 150 to 175 runner walkers with probably 20 to 30 volunteers involved in it for the day.
The money goes to the hospital.
Pardon me?
Does the money used for the
It's
hospital?
going to be used for the rehabilitation unit and Epic
Rehabilitation.
Wellness.
Okay. What's your pleasure, board?
I move we approve the street closings and any assistance that we need to give for Fayette Regional's 4th Annual 5K race on April the 13th.
I'll second that, please.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. You got it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to skip item C. We're not quite ready for that yet. In fact, we won't be ready today. We got to do some work on that. Item D, approval of a day out with Thomas, June 14th, 16th, 21st, and 23rd. That's always a exciting time when Thomas comes to town, and I believe we've got the Estill Day for about the 20th time, huh?
For a few, I don't know about 20.
How many times has Tom come here?
Pardon?
How many times has Thomas been here?
Probably, let's see, 11 or 12, I think it is.
That's good. Go ahead, you got the floor.
Okay.
State your name and everything.
Estill Dave, I'm a member of the Whitewater Valley Railroad, and I'm here to ask for permission to do some things during the Day Out with Thomas event. And I think all of you have this, I believe. I'll read through it if you like. For the Day Out with Thomas event scheduled for June 14, 15, 16, and June 21, 22, and 23, we request the following. Erect at least one tent, a 60 by 90, in the courthouse parking lot on June 7th and leave it up through June 24th. Add other items such as food vendors and tables during the week of June 11th. Removal will be on June 24th unless some of them are needed for the bicentennial event. Leave as much parking as possible on Monday through Thursday during the weeks of June 10th and 17th. Close the courthouse parking lot on the event days listed above. Post the west side of Central Avenue as no parking along the east side of the large parking lot for the event days listed above, so we can use this area for our shuttle bus drop-off and pickup. Our parking will be at the high school again, I hope. Close the north end of Market Street and the drive around Burkhurst during June 12th through June 24th. Close 4th and 5th Street between Grand and Central, early morning until late afternoon on the event days listed above. Eastbound lanes of 4th and 5th Streets at Central will be blocked so people working in these areas can get in and out. Will not be blocked so people can get in and out. Close 1st and 2nd Streets at the railroad for the event days listed above. And we request permission for the EMS to stand by at the event during each day of the event.
Any questions? You absorbed all that real fast.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. I think it's the same thing we've
Same
done
thing
before.
as.
There's only one thing, Esther, we can't
Yeah.
guarantee that the ambulance will be there all the time.
I understand.
It'll be
I
there
understand.
whenever it's on
I
standby.
understand that.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you hire off-duty policemen to
Yes.
help you with traffic.
Okay, I had one question on the tents, the first paragraph. Said some of them will be left up if the bicentennial committee needs
Yeah.
those. When it's all said and done, is one group or another gonna take responsible
Yes.
for taking them down?
Yeah,
Okay.
if they need them, then they'll take responsibility.
okay.
If not,
Okay.
I'll get them taken down. Yes. We
Okay.
will.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the day out with Thomas, the dates in June 14th, 15th, 16th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, as requested by Mr. Day and stated so in his form, so.
I'll second.
A motion and second to allow the day out with Thomas with all the street closings and the different things we have to do to make that happen. Do you have any problem with that, Mr. Chief of Police?
No, I don't.
You can make it work. You can make it happen.
It'll happen.
Okay, any discussion up here? Any discussion at all? None appearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, I have one more I'd like to ask for.
You only get one thing at a time, Esther.
He's empty.
The second page, when you're saying you're,
You should have a second page there. Okay?
yes.
We're hosting an educational day for a group of Boy Scouts on April the 27th. And again, this is a repeat thing that we've been doing. We're requesting permission to close the south end of Eastern Avenue for the entire day. We will block it where it turns west at the entrance to Smalley's Lake. Smalley's Lake entrance will remain open by going south on Eastern Avenue. We will put a street closed ahead sign at the intersection of First and Eastern. And we will advise Integrity Metals of the closing. Any questions?
Probably should advise the paint company too.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
How many come, Estill?
Pardon?
How many boys
Last year
participate?
was something like 400,
And they come from all over, don't they?
different parts of the state, and it's kind of rotated. We have one of our members down near Cincinnati that handles it, and he picks up different groups each year.
Okay. So I move that we approve this request for the Boy Scouts Day on April 27th.
A second.
A motion is second to approve the Boy Scout Day with the railroad. Is there any discussion up here?
Fine.
None? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very
I
much.
think it's time to renew your membership in the railroad, isn't it? Not Estella?
Yes,
Okay.
by the end of
Those of
March.
you, and we are trying to get more and more Fayette County people to belong to the railroad. So if you feel inclined, well, I'd like to see more of our city people belong. Melissa and I went over and joined. And
I agree, I certainly would too. I'd like to see more local people.
We're trying to get the board more local, and we're trying to get more people involved here so we can do more things in Connersville. So I encourage everybody to do that.
What does it entail, Mayor?
Paying $25 and get
Paying
approved.
$25 and signing up, yes.
If you can walk in over there, you'll probably be approved.
You can be a member, you don't have to do anything else, but you can be a member, or you can take it. We have a class going right now, that you can take a class and become a person on the railroad where you can work on trains and.
We get a hat.
Yeah. If you buy it.
Okay.
Yeah, I certainly would like to see more local previous.
I think we're getting more.
Yes, I think we are, and in the past year, it's been mostly outside of the county people. Cincinnati and Dayton,
To just come to your office down there?
over here at the depot.
Okay,
Yeah, just over here at the depot.
okay.
So she can take care of it. All right,
It's
thank
an
you.
honor to say you belong to the Whitewater Valley Railroad.
Sure,
too.
Sir,
Thank you.
no problem.
Okay, I have something from Eddie Merchant's Bank, receipt. This is our report. Who's gonna come forward to ask questions about this report? Both or one, or who? Come forth. This is the first report of the bicentennial to the Board of Works. They'll be making this report on a monthly basis. We're kind of new at this because we never had a bicentennial in our time. And we don't know what a report should look like. So if you don't like the way this report looks, you need to tell the bicentennial what kind of material you want in the report. So if you'll get started.
Okay, I'm Mike Sparks. I'm the Bicentennial Committee Chairman, and Ed Harrell is the Vice Chairman. And as the Mayor said, we're here today to give you a real brief synopsis and then entertain any questions that you might have. You should have a packet that we provided that shows we are now up to 12 days of events and activities that would be going on through this summer, through our bicentennial celebration. I think if you count every event, activity, thing that we have on our list, there are now over 100. And one of the most important things probably to note is at the very top of the first page where it says this is certainly subject to revisions, and particularly the word additions, because we are still adding events and activities. We said almost 3 years ago now, when this process started, that we intended that this would be the largest celebration in living people's, or in any living person's lifetime here, and we think we are well on our way now to making that a reality. So as you look through here, there are many, many things. We have been here before the City Council and different bodies before to kind of give an overview. I don't know how much you really want. I hope everybody read that. But if you have questions about any of these 12 pages of events and activities that are planned, we'd be happy to entertain them. I think the other thing that you should see in your packet is some pages that address the financial part of the celebration. And also, as you, I'm sure, are aware, we've had a very active fundraising committee under the direction of Amy Hammonds, and she has been working very diligently along with several other folks to raise funds for the bicentennial celebration. Obviously, a celebration of this magnitude does cost a lot of money. And to be honest, we've been asked before, what about spending a lot of money in a kind of a depressed economy? Our response to that has been and continues to be, when can you possibly state a time that Connersville needs something to celebrate more than we need it right now?
That's correct.
We think this is the right celebration. It is our 200th birthday today, by the way, exactly 200 years old today. But more than that, it's more than celebrating history. It's also looking forward, and right now Connersville needs that badly. I'm sure everybody on this board is aware of that. And as we bring more and more people into the celebration process, our email list, ones that we get that, it is a long, long list now and growing. More and more people, I think, are realizing this is not just a celebration of the past, it's also a celebration of Connersville's future. So when you look through these pages, we would ask that you kind of look up from that vein. The financial statement shows what we have currently in the bank, the balance. And our treasurers do a quarterly report, so when you're looking at the quarterly report that was December, obviously the first quarter of this year hasn't arrived yet. There will be an update, obviously, at the end of this month. We feel like we're in excellent shape financially, just as has happened countless times through Connersville's history. Connersville has stepped up for this event very gratifyingly in a financial way. We think we're going to be in good shape. We still are counting on the dollars that are yet to come in that we've been promised, but we feel very confident that when it's all said and done, we will be in excellent shape financially, and Connersville will have had truly a once-in-a-lifetime celebration. Questions? Ed, you can comment?
I'd like to tell the board a few things I don't think you know. We have a finance committee made up of 9 people across the different sections of the committee. I serve on that, and when I can't be there, Julie serves on that. So the city is involved in that finance committee. And I know that there's been some of you that have been voicing a worry to me because our agreement with the bicentennial is anything they spend over what they got, we got to pay for. And I can assure you that everybody is being very careful or scrutinize each dollar that's spent. We don't want to be penny pinchers, because that's what all the people in this town gave the money for, to put on this bicentennial. On the other side of the thing, I asked them to give us a good rundown of what's going to happen, because Mr. Baker and I have been working with the insurance company to be sure that we are covered completely on every event, so that the liability doesn't flow to the bicentennial committee members nor to the city of Connersville, that we're covered. And I forget, when is it, John? We're going to a seminar, what day?
Oh, it's coming up, I think.
Here.
That first few
Melissa,
weeks
when are we
in,
going
March.
to that?
Is it March 19th?
Yeah.
No, it's the 12th.
Well,
March the 12th, the insurance man and Mr. Baker and myself, and I don't know whether you're going to try to attend that. Are you attending
I
that?
hope, yes.
Yeah. We will be attending a seminar put on by Indiana Association of Cities and Towns, what cities' responsibilities are in things like we're doing. And there'll be a lot of cities represented there that day, and we'll be able to ask questions. There'll be experts on insurance and liability. So I think that we've got all the things covered, but as we grow in this, as I said when we started, none of us have ever done a bicentennial before, and we'll never do another one. All we gotta do is do it right one time.
We only get one chance, that's why we have to do it right.
And I will say, your whiskers are beginning to look nice now. Are they? Do you still call them whiskers?
I don't know what you call them, but I know they're gray, they didn't used to be.
Yeah, well, you can get some stuff over at the CVS to take care of that.
Get shoe polish.
But yours are, you know, my wife said you're not doing that. I said, well, maybe I should, huh? I don't know.
Could be the only one.
You gonna raise whiskers for the bicentennial, Frank? Been thinking about it?
If you want somebody to itch themselves to death, I will, because those things drive me.
That only lasts for a little while.
I noticed Ed, your cohort there, is not doing too good.
We got a plan for
We've
it.
had discussions about that.
But anyone like,
I have the same thing to say that Fran does. I can't sleep once I don't shave.
Yeah.
I'll mention one quick thing. They had such a lot of fun in 1963 with Brothers of the Brush. Some of you probably remember that time, I'm sure you do. And it was a major event, and here's the key. We'll probably have some, our people that are in charge of our Brothers of the Brush this time, I think are planning some awards and some recognition for probably different categories of beard growing. But now, just as in 1963, the main reason for the men growing beards is not to see how long the whiskers can grow. And this might influence some of your decisions as to whether or not. When you see the men walking up and down the streets this summer wearing a top hat or a tie or whiskers, you know there is a guy that is strongly supporting the celebration, and he's strongly supporting Connersville. Now, start growing your whiskers.
now did he put one on us, is that? Yeah.
Pressure's on.
Can we wear fake ones?
Oh, he will hear it again?
Okay.
May I ask him a question, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Sure.
It was stated in the paper that there's going to be a fine from the Brothers of the Brush. Are you at liberty to tell us what that fine's going to be if you're...
You know, I would if I knew what it was. That's from that committee. I can tell you, you did say fine?
That's what they said.
Fine, yeah. I think in 1963, they had fun with it. They didn't force it on anybody that didn't want to participate. I think it was like $2. It will be strictly voluntary.
And they have a shaver's permit that you can purchase, and will be a button you can wear that shows you have a permit to shave. And so you're supporting it, but you're authorized to shave.
Well, you
I'll buy
know,
5 of them.
You'll probably be able to buy a pass. You know, your employer won't let you have whiskers or this or that. Your wife won't let you. You're too wimpy, or you know, there were different categories whereby you would be permitted not to wear whiskers. And by the way, a mustache counts. You don't have to have a beard. Facial hair is actually the word. But the bottom line is, it's strictly for fun. It won't be forced on anybody.
Did you have any questions on the report? You okay with the financial report? Okay. I need a motion to accept the report of the bicentennial committee. You'll be getting one of these every month now until we get her done. Okay? And
I'll make that motion, Your Honor, that we accept this financial report and also the report from this gentleman here for the bicentennial.
I'll second that.
It's very
Did a
well-
good job. They really
Yeah,
are.
it's very well put. Very well
Any
explained.
discussion about the report? All in favor of the motion to accept the report of the bicentennial committee, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to have the party now?
That's up to you, Mayor. This is Connersville's official 200th birthday. It was March 4th in 1813 when John Connor filed and the plat was recorded. So this is our official day. So we did bring some cake whenever you wish.
Okay, Melissa, if you'll get
We'll have cake.
Diana and maybe Brenda, and let's cut the cake. We'll do one more resolution here, and then we'll be into department matters, which we don't care whether department matters.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Stay around and we'll have the party, because are you gonna sing to us?
No, you don't want me to sing.
You have to come over to the library at 3:30 this afternoon to hear Matt Howard sing.
Yeah, we're gonna be there
Matt,
for that.
Stan.
Stan.
Matt won't be there.
Where is he?
I was thinking of Matt.
Fran.
France.
We'll get Matt.
Run over to Fran.
Speaking about Matt Howard, if you go into the magazine, the Sports Illustrated, there's an article on Matt Howard in there this month, if you're interested. It's, I haven't read it yet, but I'm told it's in there. So let's go with Resolution 2013-09. This is a transfer, $2972.50 from non-reverting operating the community center to Roberts Park, Roberts Building, soccer, and pickleball. All this is transferring the money around that we've taken in. Well, let's take this resolution first and look at it. Any questions on the resolution? This is what we have to do when we take money in. We have to put it around where it's going to be used. I'll take a motion on that resolution if you are so inclined.
I'll make a motion that we pass resolution 2013-09.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Any questions of the park superintendent's here? None appearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Mike has got to be in another place. We keep him so busy that he's got to be in another place in just a little bit. I don't know if you won't have time for cake, will you?
Probably not.
Okay, we.
I just have my facility usage agreement between us and the Connersville Babe Ruth Association. Should have given a copy to you guys last meeting. Same agreement that we've been using the past few years. Just a list of responsibilities that the Parks Department is responsible for, and also a list that the Babe Ruth is responsible for. And they do get charged to use those facilities. It's $100 a field, and they pay 50% of the utilities for the 5 months that they operate down there.
So it's basically the same, Mike, as what's in this agreement, correct?
Yeah, it's the same one we've been using for, I know, 5-6 years.
Mike, this is my first year seeing this, but I just had two quick questions, very simple ones. Number 4, item number C, there's going to be a liaison between the department and the club. Is that one person that's assigned to do that so they don't know? Daryl says this, Mike said this, or I need to, they go to one person all the time?
He attends all the meetings. He's been attending for about 2 years now. of
Okay,
course.
I thought it was just one person that they
If he can't make it, then I usually
We'll fill
attend, but
Okay.
he's done about every one of them.
Okay, and then under 5, number M, any construction of new buildings and remodeling must be approved by the recreation director. Does the recreation director, since that would cover under facilities and insurance, they are gonna let the board know beforehand? He
Yes.
just doesn't have free rein.
Daryl's at the meetings, what they do, if they want a project done, they get with him, and he gets with me, then,
Then we can, okay,
yeah.
okay, just wanna check, thank
They
you.
just can't build a building.
Yeah,
down
the
there.
way it reads, it's like, okay, yeah, Daryl says, yeah, put that up,
Yeah.
then. Okay, thank you.
I'd like to suggest that any changes be brought before the board if it's substantial, please.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to accept, did we have a motion? I did, when she was shaking her head, we didn't have something.
I'll make the motion, Your Honor, that we accept this agreement for the Connersville Babe Ruth Association.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the agreement between us and the Babe Ruth for the year 2013. Any discussion further? None appearing, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. While I've got Mike up here, It's very important what I wanted to do, and now I just lost it.
Uh-oh.
We were talking about, I will tell you that the elevator, the lift at the building was inspected by the state last week and passed 100%. We had no problem whatsoever. We're okay for a year, and the company we bought it from paid the first year's inspection. From now on, it'll be our responsibility to pay the inspection. We are laying the cement board in the kitchen. It's done today, I think. All the windows on the east side are trimmed. We're trimming windows on the east side. The west side's done.
Yeah, actually both sides are trimmed.
Yes, right.
Yeah, and the windows is all inside, installed on the west side and starting on the east side. So we're moving right along.
We are going to sit down and take a good hard look at our money now. And I know what I wanted to say. The Lions Club came with a little prodding, but we've been prodding all the service clubs. I've talked to all of them, and they're all helping out. Of course, you know the KFCs are doing the chicken fry on the 20th of April. We want to keep that, buy your tickets. But the Lions Club came up last week. I asked them to participate in the building project, and they wanted to. So what they've come up with, they took it to their board, and they're going to allow $3,000 for the furnishing of the kitchen. And Mike and I think now have it fixed that we could get that. Cabinets, the sinks, the faucets, all that is permanently installed will be right at about $2,900, $3,000. So the Lions Club is paying for that. I need your permission. Maybe I have to have the council. You know, we've been selling a door to somebody and putting their name on it, or a window to somebody. On the inside, I'd like to put a Lions emblem between the two windows and call it the Lions Kitchen. And do I have to ask them, John, or do I have to ask the council?
Board of Works is the owner of the asset.
Okay. So that's what I'd like to ask you today. I told them that if they give me that money, I thought we could get that done. But I knew you had the authority.
Yeah, I do. I would vote for that.
Well, will you make a motion to that?
Oh, yeah, I'll make the motion that the Lions.
I'll second that motion.
That they officially named the Lions Kitchen at the James Roberts Building.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Anybody object to that out there? I saw your hand go up and I thought, oh my. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. You'd be amazed the people that's buying into this thing. We've got different people that want a part of this and want a part of that. And it's really coming together. They hung up a set of drapes the other day, and I didn't get to go. I had a meeting down here, and did you take a picture of it?
Yeah, it didn't show up very well.
It didn't?
No.
But you thought it looked nice.
Oh, yeah, it'll look nice when you walk through there. It's open every day 8 to 4, 8 to 3. If you want to stop by and take a look at the progress of it right now. But when it's all said and done, it's going to be amazing, the difference, the transformation between day one and now.
It's our plan next week, if John Paul, our next meeting, that we meet with this board and the city council to have it at the Roberts Building. That's our plan. We may have to postpone it if something goes wrong, but right now.
Right now, we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, we're going to have the city council meeting, the Board of Works meeting in that building. Okay, that's what I wanted to do, Mike. You ain't got a problem with any of that we've done?
Nope, thanks very much.
And Mike did take, we got quotes from 2 companies in town, and
Wells and Gilman's.
And Gilman's was the winner of that because it was more for our money and it was a less price by, what, $800?
About 500.
500.
The counter was a little different, so it
Okay.
readjusted for the counter price, ended up still being about $300, $400 cheaper.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mike.
Mike.
No, let's get the girls in here. Let's adjourn for about 10 minutes here, 15. The meeting will come to order, the second's on the gavel, and lets us have a birthday party.
Hey, David?
Call the meeting back to order, and just for old time's sake, since this is the 200th birthday, let's have a happy birthday song to Connorsville. Who's a good singer? Is there anybody in here at all can sing? Mike.
Mike's here.
There's the singer.
Here.
Not the rock version.
Mike is.
Happy birthday.
Hey, you know the tune to Happy Birthday?
Do the Bob Seger.
Let's go. Come on.
Do the Maryland.
Turn around, please.
Do the Bob
Here we go.
Seger.
Is everybody gonna join with me? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Connersville. Happy birthday to you. And many more. I think we'd be missing the boat if we wouldn't also say that Melissa's birthday is today. We celebrated at 7 o'clock and she'll be over at the library, and I didn't realize she was as old as the city was.
That's great.
Before you guys leave, I wanted to go over this. I got an email, and we did not pick the day that we were to be at the State House. The State House picked the day. You don't deal with those people, they deal with you. But anyway, they're telling us now that we'll be there on March the 21st, 2013. It said if the mayor arrives at 1 p.m., we will make sure that everything is ready for the session at 1:30. So if you'll jot down those notes. Okay. We will first go to the Senate, and I guess they'll pass it through the Senate. The resolution will pass through the Senate, followed by the presentation and the passage in the House of Representatives at the state capitol. The events should be concluded by 2:30 or 3 at the latest, bearing any delay in a session due to a caucus. If the mayor will please let us know how many will be in the Senate, in the House, they will make arrangements for us to have a place to sit. If we have any questions, we've got a person to contact. Representative Zimke and our state senator Lysing have made arrangements for this all to happen, and this has to happen in order for you to be legal to celebrate. We were lucky we were there on the day that Brookville did theirs, and it's quite impressive. If I remember right, John, you were there. I think they got a big plaque. Seemed like they did. Maybe Brookville bought the plaque, I don't know, but we need to do this. So I'll take care of the city people, Mike, and then if you'll give me a count on how many of the bicentennial committee will be planning to make the trip. I would like to see everybody on the Board of Works and the City Council be there if possible. I think it's important. I've already asked Mr. Baker to come, and I think Julie's consented to be there. This is probably a big event in this bicentennial, when the state recognizes us for our 200th birthday. And if you guys come up with anything that you think we should do that day, or we should wear, or, well, I can't wear my whiskers because I haven't got them yet, but we'll do it. So everybody got that date down, and I also would like you to, the Board of Works, let's see, will we have another meeting before that?
18th.
Okay, we need to, I'll have to get some permission for some people to be off work. I can't let you off work because I got in trouble last time I did that, those that work for the city that want to go. Okay, so I'm excited. We've been waiting for that all since Christmas, and we finally got the dates. All right, we'll go on to department matters, because it does matter. And
Thank you, John.
Thanks.
David Counselor, you're first on the list.
Hi, Dave.
See you in a little bit, guys.
First thing I want to bring up is we have approximately 25 old radios we took out of our cars. We put new ones in because of the narrow banding. These radios were not compatible to narrow banding. They're strictly wideband radios, and they're no good for any municipality as far as any police, fire, or anything else anymore. Only thing they are good at, being on the wideband, is for ham radio. And the Randolph County Ham Radio Association, who is also their RACES group, and RACES stands for Radio Amateur Civil Emergency Services. And they come in and assist in disasters, weather spotting, and this type of thing. But you can program ham radio frequencies in that because they're all wideband. And so what I'd like to do, I like to donate these old radios. These radios are approximately, I think we got them in the mid-90s also. And we had replaced them with new ones. I would like to donate them to the Amateur Club for the Radio Emergency Services group. with the blessing of the council.
Is there not a Fayette County Amateur Radio Association that might want?
Not like it used to be, no.
Okay,
They
David,
do have some amateur radio here, and they do have a small races group.
did you talk to them?
No, I have not, mainly because they're not as active as they used to be. And they're still there, but I think most of them are using regular ham radios versus an old police radio that needs to be reprogrammed and converted. That's the bad thing about these radios. You don't let them have, like amateur radios, people have them. You don't want them getting in the wrong hands and what they'll do is reprogram all of them to get all the police radio bands out of there. Because even though they're wide band, they can still be utilized. You'll still copy stuff and you could transmit. It wouldn't be distorted, but it could really give police and fire. There's the only thing to be is donate them to a group like that or destroy them.
How about Adrian Ellis? Can he use any of them?
I'd have to check with him, but I know for a fact, being a past EMA director, he's got plenty of these radios also that can't be reprogrammed. That's why I didn't really ask him, because I know Adrian's got a bunch of radios just like these that I had purchased under emergency management back in the day, and he's probably got as many as we do. And I know that from being over there for 15 years.
There's no way of getting any money out of them.
No, not really. They're not worth, and they're like our portables I'm gonna talk about in a minute. They're getting so old that you'd be robbing parts out of others to keep them going because they're so old. In fact, we were having trouble. I had like 4 or 5 of these radios, and I'm giving them, with your blessing, they've been already cannibalized somewhat. You know, I'm taking parts out to keep the others going, and that's what we ran into with the portables. So,
what's your pleasure on the radios, board?
Mayor, I think what we need to do is to pass a resolution that the radios are deemed to be no longer serviceable and no longer of any value to the police department. Obsolete was the word I was looking for.
It doesn't have to include the method of disposal. State board will want to know that, won't they?
Well, you need, normally it's to a 501c3 corporation and or a like entity or another governmental entity. And I guess I don't know what type of entity this one is.
this is a group that usually works with emergency management out of that county.
Yeah, but because of that affiliation, that would be close enough, I think, to be all right.
I'd like to see some sort of resolution we could put in the minutes so that when the state board audits this, they can see what happened. Can we pass it today and you make a resolution to fit that, John? Or do you want to wait and make a resolution?
Well, you can do a verbal resolution and put it in the minutes.
Okay.
That is all right.
Will that be sufficient for state board?
Yeah,
Was
what we've done.
was to deem these radios obsolete. Is that what you need?
Yeah, and allow him to donate them.
Okay, I'll make the resolution that we deem how many radios?
25. Approximately 25.
25 radios now used.
And that's counting about 5 cannibalized ones, meaning.
I'll second you.
They've been robbed for parts, but
Make
the
it
case
safe
is
to
still
give
there.
it to a 501c3.
It'll be obsolete and of no value, I think.
Okay.
No value. Is there a second?
Probably ought to be due noted that the appropriate band is disabled in those things. I don't know
Narrow
who does
banding.
that or who's responsible for that. Don't you think?
That's why we basically, they were still working, we were having trouble, we were cannibalizing them, but the thing is, everything went to what they call narrowband, and them aren't narrow banded. I mean, you can't reprogram them like you can some radios. Everything that was purchased after, I think, 96, 97 could be reprogrammed for narrow band, but anything prior to that is all like, they're out.
So there's no need of taking some
No,
bandwidth or capability out of it.
whoever, like the Ham Club will do that, because they're on wideband, but they're on a different, I know, I'll give you a little lesson here in radio communications, but they're on different frequencies in the ham radio range. So I'll just put this, they're right here, and they're right here, and all the emergency services is down here.
Okay.
So they're in a different range as far as the 150. They got 146 and 147 megahertz, where we're at 154 and 155.
Okay.
And so they'll be dropping down and reprogramming everything in the ham radio area. And so they,
How'd you get up with Randolph County?
well, one of the ERS guys he's a ham radio operator, and I know him real well. And I'm a ham radio operator too, from the old EMA days, and he works with Randolph County EMA. And I know Adrian's got.
Well, I do want you to
Ton of
talk to
radios.
our ham radio club and see if
Okay.
they need any.
Okay.
I think they should come first.
That's.
I can do that, but, you know, I.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Did someone second it?
I did.
Okay. Okay, I think it's a simple.
So I guess what you're saying is that the bandwidth that's in the old radios doesn't have to be changed. In other words,
Yeah, they,
if someone had it, they could be on the emergency bandwidth, right? If someone could utilize one of the
you
old
mean
radios.
if somebody got our radios?
Yeah,
That's not a ham radio? Yeah, if they got that radio for some means, they could still listen to police frequencies, and when they key up, they could key up and probably be heard, but they'd be distorted, and they could interfere with our frequencies, meaning you got, well, wideband and and narrow
Yeah.
band, okay? So when they would talk, it would splatter,
okay.
more or less, okay?
So there's no need to disable that band
No,
in that old radio?
they'll do that for us. They won't, they're gonna totally redo them and everything else. And like I said, I never really got to talk to Adrian about it, because I know he's got as many radios as we got.
It's basically a risk if we do it any other way, isn't it?
Well, it's the only thing about it, either it goes to a ham radio group or we need to destroy them. And I mean totally
Yeah.
destroy them, put a bullet through them, do something, take a bash them with ham, you know,
They can
like
be
hammer or
used
something.
as,
And I know that, all these ham radio groups are volunteers, and they're licensed ham radio operators. And the good thing about when you have a radio like this is when usually you have a regular ham radio that's in them frequencies that you go to and everything else, but a lot of times you'll be monitoring several different frequencies at once. And that's where you could take a radio like this, and put them in like a mobile command post or your EOC, or even if a guy has two radios, where you can monitor several different radios. Ham radio has such a broad span of different radios. This would go over what they call 2 meters. 2 meters in the ham radio world is basically in that 154, 55, and on 146. All them frequencies are in that area of 2 meters, so to speak. But they don't call it 2 meters in the municipal world when it comes to business frequencies, police and fire and EMS frequencies.
Yeah.
So, but that's all. I'd like to go ahead and donate that to them. And I've known Dave Epley for many years. And like I said, I didn't consult with Adrian because I know Adrian's got that many.
Does Adrian head up the ham operator radio for this county, or who does?
I'm not too sure. I think it runs out of EMA, it used to, but they have a ham club here in town.
Oh, isn't that guy up on 29th Street?
You're talking about Alan?
Alan Arnold.
Alan Arnold, yeah, they got their own individual ham radios.
yeah, he's.
And like I said, EMA's got a bunch of radios like ours, and I know he's got as many, if not more, than ours.
But is he head of the ham operator? Is Adrian, or is Alan Arnold?
No, Alan Arnold isn't. I don't know who's the head of the ham club now. They have a ham club
I'd like
also.
for you to check with them and see if they need any before we give them away to another county.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. We got a motion on the floor. Any discussion further? All in
Mayor, should
favor,
I-
say aye.
Should
Any
I-
opposed? Motion carried.
Should I come back to the
No,
board again?
it's a done deal.
Just check,
Go
see
do
if, and if he don't need them, then we go
Yeah.
ahead and donate them?
I just think that if there's a Fayette County club that would like to have them, they should get them before Randolph County.
Okay, I'll call Adrian and find out and see.
Okay.
Also, the next thing I've got is I went to talking about radios once again. We're having the same problem, but it's not the problem. Our old portable radios were narrow banded. But what's happened is they're also outdated, and we've been cannibalizing radios and keep radios going. So it's down to where, like, Dennis and I don't even have a portable radio on our VHF right now, because we put ours out into the workforce of the officers. But we've been having to rob, once again, parts off old portables. So I went to the council and asked to purchase 20 new VHF narrowband Motorola radios. These old radios we got were bought back in 1995, I believe. They're 18 years old. Anyway, they gave us approval, and I got a quote there, what it came out to, and that was everything goes with them, external antennas, microphones, chargers, everything. And it's for 20. And all that 20 new radios are going to the line officers. And what we'll do with the old radios, we're going to keep them as extras, and then if something goes wrong with it, we'll have extra radios, but they'll be there for use for our volunteers and stuff like this. But if something goes wrong with them, we have radios we can cannibalize and get the best or whatever. What I'm trying to do is get the best for my buck here. I'm not trying to go out and buy everybody on the police department a brand new radio. I want to milk these things and get as much life out of these old ones as we can. I just need to get 20 from my line guys, then the detectives and Dennis and I and our part-timers will use the old ones. And
Okay, so that's gonna be a public hearing tonight.
No, it
No.
actually won't be for 2 more weeks.
2 more
We couldn't
weeks.
get it
Yeah.
advertised.
Okay, so we don't need to make that a decision until,
the only thing I think we need to do is just make get the blessings from the Board of Works with it,
Well, the board needs to approve.
approve this purchase.
we can't approve the purchase until we get the money approved. We'll get the money approved in 2 weeks. We have to have a public hearing and approve the money, and then once the money is approved, the Board of Works will look at your quotes there and we'll buy them.
Okay, I was told to bring it to you guys, and because they already.
Do you have quotes on those radios?
Yes.
Yeah,
Just-
there's quotes here.
Well, I guess we could approve it without money, and if we get the money, we'll buy them.
Yeah, I think that's why I was told. to
Okay,
bring
what are
it
your
up.
quotes?
They're all identical, I mean, it's identical equipment on every one of these. I wrote down.
Yeah, on the
So it's
20 new, that
the
goes to
20
the
new.
people on the street.
It's
on the
exactly-
line officers.
Exactly the same equipment is quoted by each of these 3 companies, so
Yeah, it's the same
pretty
radio.
easy, so.
Yeah.
The top one's the cheapest.
Right.
Always ERS.
Biggest saving I've seen on any of them is the radio itself.
Where are these coming from, David?
ERS.
Indianapolis?
Indianapolis, yeah.
It says $171 for delivery. Couldn't we go up there and get them a lot cheaper than that?
That's shipping, not delivery.
Well, I don't know, Fran, I bet we could, but what they'll do is they'll ship them right from the factory to us versus going to the dealer.
They don't go to Indianapolis then?
They won't go to the distributor.
It'd be direct.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's still a lot of money for shipping.
I thought it was quite a bit of money for shipping.
That's a lot of pounds, too.
I think the shipping was gonna be about the same if it went to them or it went to us,
Okay.
so.
Look at the other 2 on shipping, this is the least expensive shipping, so one of them was $300.
Those probably have to be special package too because of the sensitivity of them.
Well, they are, bubble wrapped pretty good, so.
I move we accept the quote from ERS for $17,351.80 pending approval from the City Council for finances.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion on the floor to accept the quote of ERS, $17,351.80. Purchase 20 radios with all the equipment with it. Any discussion? Providing that the money is appropriated by the City Council. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Anything else, Council? Thank you.
Thank you.
We're getting like the federal government now, we spend it before we get it.
It's been working for them.
It hasn't worked good for them at all.
Up to
It's a mess.
Okay, we have money in the budget to hire a part-time ordinance enforcer. I believe it's from April 1st. I think it's April 1st to October 1st.
I think so.
We've been toying with the idea up and down. I've pretty much had the 2 chiefs, the assistant and the chief, doing all this on old houses and things. Of course, the grass is going to start to grow in over the next month, and we're going to be into this. And I think before we make this decision, we ought to have a committee look at it, look at the responsibilities, talk with the chief, and look at the real needs Unless you just want to just up and do it. I want you to give me some discussion.
If I may, I've already been a part of that in discussion with Dave, and there's a pretty good load there just on the dilapidated property, let alone worrying about the grass and tearing down buildings and what have you. And it's a task. It is.
May I approach the board, please? I'm getting it down pretty much on the properties and getting the letters out. We've probably in the last week or so, I've really been busting my rear to get this thing kind of lined out. It's happening slowly, but it's kind of confusing sometimes, because a lot of the houses we have on the list to be looked at for boarding up, tearing down, or whatever, getting the property cleaned up, a lot of them's going into tax sales and commissioner sales. And so we gotta be careful what we look at to tear down, clean up, whatever. And just like Joe and I was talking, I hate sticking X amount of money in plywood to board up windows and doors of a house, over there, that's gonna be sold on sheriff's sale or possibly get torn down. And, I hate to stick maybe over $300 to $500 in plywood or materials that we're gonna tear down a house. O'Neill, if he came back, or somebody would come back, we got the grass thing that's gonna start pretty soon. That's gonna be another thing. I think Dick's big problem is with the letters. The letters are no problem. He just needs to, we'll work that out. But anyway, he was trying to do a lot of different things that he didn't need to do. And we're, like I said, I think we're getting an iron down on the houses, getting letters sent out and this type of thing. I even got a new board in my office to keep track on what houses are in this position or this condition here, or this one's going to tax sale, sheriff's sale, whatever. And we're trying to break that down so where my secretary will send the letters out to the owners and to the mortgage companies with our intentions and get feedback from them. That's in itself is one deal. But then we got the grass coming up, and letters have to go out for that. Well, last year he was trying to do all of it, and he needs just to put the work on my secretary. She'll do it, but she's got other things going on too, and it'll get done the same day, but he tries to do it himself, and he just needs to really you get us the property and this type of thing, we just need to iron that stuff out. You don't have to worry about sending letters out. You tell me what the address is, we'll work all that out.
All right, on the grass, it can be a form letter.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have a form letter.
We have a
Because
form
can
letter. We
cut
even
it.
have form letters on with properties. We just put in what the
John,
problems are.
you might develop the form letter because the law changed on that. We got to notify them prior to cutting it down.
It did, and I think have you changed since then by giving notification?
No,
We haven't, well, we talked the other day and we got a form letter going on the houses and different things. But on the grass, no, I haven't changed nothing out on that
Well, we
yet.
need to give notification before
we mow.
Grass is mowed, so we'll need to do the change in the form letter.
Okay.
If it hasn't been changed, for some reason I thought it had.
I thought we had to do that starting July 1st.
Well, so I haven't looked at that. I haven't had to deal with a grass letter yet, so I haven't really looked at the form letter on that.
Well, the question today is, do you want to give me permission to hire the ordinance enforcer back, or do you not want to?
I think it depends on the chief and the assistant. Can they handle the job, or do they want to handle it? You can't handle it.
I can't handle it.
Okay.
With our chief duties and along with our buildings and properties, and we got this grass coming up, that's gonna be another, and that's just, I can't handle it.
But you can in the wintertime.
In wintertime, but in the wintertime, you're not worried about people's grass.
Okay, if you give me permission to do that, I'm going to have a job description made by the chief of what exactly that's going to entail, and I'll bring that back to you.
Say we had 20 hours a week at $12 per hour. Is that what we had last year?
10 or 12, wasn't it? 10 or 12?
12, I
I think it
believe.
was 12. Was it 12?
Yes.
Whatever it is in the budget.
But we definitely have to have a job description, I agree. And
Well, I think we have no alternative if he said he can't do it.
Okay.
it's just too much for our office to take care of what we got in the office
Sure, I
and go out and
understand.
look at yards. And I even got one of my captains assisting on some of the stuff on the houses and properties and running over there and all this, so. But I I have a little more insight on what this is all about now than what I did last year when we started this.
This is gonna be a busy summer with the bicentennial. There's gonna be parking problems, there's gonna be, streets that you've gotta do this and do that. So we could use the help, but I want a job description for it, what time you do.
I'll get one wrote up.
Okay.
What was those dates too that we use him through November?
April 1st through end of September.
September?
Yeah, through the end of September. August 1st, 6 months, right?
October 1st.
October, excuse me,
Through October?
1st of October.
Okay. We're doing 20 hours a week at $12 an hour. That's basically what we done last year.
I think that's what we got budgeted.
Yes.
There's just
We
a lot-
didn't spend all the money out of the budget last year, did we? Did we spend it all? Did we have enough?
Well, it's all grouped in
For the
together,
police department, yeah.
police, other employees. There's not a separate line
Yeah.
item for the ordinance enforcer. But I think he worked all his hours.
Okay, what's your pleasure?
I made the motion that we proceed with getting a job description for summertime ordinance enforcer.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
If you would like for someone to sit with you to help you put that job description together, I'd be more than happy to, since
I'll take you up on that.
I've been with you already, if that's all right with the board.
Fine with me.
Okay.
Everything's fine with you, Mayor, when I volunteer.
If it's free,
I'll talk to you about it after the meeting.
Okay, thank
if
you.
it's free, we take it. Bill? Utilities. We need to be able to read.
Hi, Bill.
Good afternoon.
There we go.
I have another request for trash pickup of the old CEC building. We need to get approved.
Where's it at, Bill?
That's the old CEC building, the old
Oh,
pattern
okay,
shop over
yeah,
by the
yeah.
first aid dinner.
They just want a 90 gallon.
She didn't really stipulate, so I'm assuming it's just gonna be one.
They're
Holy
only
God,
there on
isn't it?
Friday evenings now, so one.
Huh?
They're only there on Friday evenings right now, so. one
And that's the
will be
only
fine.
ones we got left anyway, and it's the same price, so it's $10.
Okay.
I move we have city trash collection at 1220 on North Illinois.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
You'll see in your packet, I included a couple of quotes on the grit separator system at the wastewater plant. I know at least Ron has been down there to look at that. And since you've been down there, we've had a failure on that top auger.
Come apart?
It was actually twisted in two. So we need to move on getting that piece of equipment replaced. Two quotes in front of you, one from American Pump and the other one from Maddox Industrial.
How long do these usually last, Bill?
That was put in there almost 40 years ago.
40?
Yeah, and we managed to keep it going, and we've replaced a lot of parts over the years, but it's just,
Wore out.
it just rusted beyond repair. I know that was one of the things that was included on our 5-year plan, and I was actually hoping to get a little more life out of it, but I think we've done exceeded.
So this one is over 109,000 and the other would be 70,000?
Well, actually, there's two different options on the Maddox one. What we're looking at is from American Pump to basically replace the grit separator unit, $55,750. Maddox quote on basically the same thing with the exception of a starter. Maddox seems to think that we may need to replace the starter on an existing pump, but American Pump thinks that the starter is fine, so I'm going to go with their recommendation. But Maddox is $69,900.
And this is gonna come out of sewer.
It will come out soon.
What are the additional costs that are listed?
Okay, what he's talking about is an auger to help load that stuff out of the grid thing, that thing that's above, you saw it. I'm not gonna go with that. What we're gonna go with is just basically a rollout tub where we go in there with the forklift, pick it up and dump it. So I haven't got a quote on what that little tote's gonna be, but it won't approach anything like they've got for that unit.
So this additional one on American Pump is a stainless steel construction versus probably just a steel?
Yeah.
Would you rather have a stainless steel, or what's
Well,
the feeling?
we got 40 years out of this other one, so
Okay.
I guess it's
Good
up to the
point.
board. I mean, we could probably get a little bit longer life out of the stainless steel, but
But maybe not necessary?
I don't think so.
Is that thing cleaned or flushed after it's done, or anything like that?
It's
Kind of cleans itself, don't it?
It's kind of self-cleaning, but there's always some of that grit material that lays in the auger section of it.
You got two prices, three. You just got two. Yeah. Nobody else does these things.
Those are only two people that we could get to give us quotes on. We've got the information from another company that Maddox is going to use their product, but they didn't want to give us a quote on installing it or anything, so.
So which one are you recommending?
American Pump. They're the cheapest quote, and I have no reason to believe that it's not as compatible as the other one.
To the board, I did see this piece of equipment down there the other day. We took a pretty good tour of that plant, and it's pretty bad shape. I mean, it's pretty much on its last leg. I think they've been fighting it to keep it going now. And that's pretty important to the plant as far as removing that. That's the kind of the pre-grit and so on that goes through the system. The large stuff, I think.
All the grit and gravel and stuff that
Yeah.
gets washed off the streets.
Yeah.
One part of the process down there is to remove that from the stream going through the plant. Keeps it out of the tanks and out of our digesters and stuff, so it's a pretty important piece. Gotta have it.
That was probably put in there when they put the second edition on this
It was put in 1974.
Yeah. That's one, yeah.
Uh,
I move we accept the price of American Pump for the grid classifier, $55,750.
Second, please.
We've got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion further? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
That will be less the stainless steel thing, right? That would be the 55,750.
Yeah, that would just be out of regular constructed steel.
Okay, are you done, Bill?
Well, I was going to talk to you about a blower.
Go ahead.
Had people approach me from GE, formerly Roots Blower. They have got a new unit over there that they need a place to showcase that unit. And we have in the past down at the wastewater plant allowed them to come in and install the unit, and that way if they have people that wants to come in and see how it works, they can come down to the wastewater plant and view it as it's supposed to work. Unfortunately, the unit's not made here in Connersville, it's made overseas. They just market it, GE does. I guess what I was looking at more than anything was the energy savings that they projected on that and the payback for it. Essentially, we could buy that unit from them at a reduced cost of $36,000.
They aren't willing to just put it in?
I thought they was gonna let us use it.
No, I tried talking them into it, but they want to recoup the cost that they have in it. And I'm just throwing this out there for the board if you want to consider it or not.
How much would it cost if you just bought it retail?
He told me somewhere in the neighborhood of $53,000.
And we could buy it for 36 installed?
Not installed. I don't know what it costs.
You're
to
not
install.
talking good, Bill.
I'm just telling you the information that I
If they want to use it to display, they should install it.
There's really not much
My opinion,
installation to
sorry.
it. It's somewhat of a portable unit.
Is it a part we really need? Something,
Well, we don't really need it, no. But what we're looking at is energy savings. They have projected that we'd see about a $7,000 a year energy savings at the wastewater plant over what we do now with those old blowers that we use. So a payback of somewhere around 5 years.
5 years.
But do we need it right now? No.
I was gonna say, would it replace It would replace something.
Yeah, we would take one of the older units offline and then use this unit.
Is the old unit a roots blower unit? Thought it was.
Yeah, all the blowers that we have down there are actually roost blowers manufactured here in Connersville.
Okay. I'm not too concerned whether it was made here or not, if it's being sold to Roots.
Yeah.
That is an economic development issue.
Yes.
Because we want to keep them here, we want to keep them happy. So, who have you been talking with over there?
Jeff Faber and another younger man, I can't really recall his name, but if this board would like, I could have them come and give a little presentation and maybe explain the product to them.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yes.
If this helps any, I am a vendor of Roots. We do quite a bit of work for them and get involved in this thing direct if you want me to.
That'd be good too, Ron. It's very important that we try to do as much as we can to keep them going. You know, GE's the kind of company that's got buildings our size all over the United States, all over the world. They could move this in a heartbeat. I'd like them to keep this blower company here, and we've been really working with them, and if this means a lot to them, I'd like to know that. And if they're selling it to us at their cost, that's a good deal. What salvage would there be in the old one?
Well, I'm not so sure I'd want to take one of the old ones out, to be honest with you. I mean, they've been there for a long time, but they're the old proven blowers, and they work great for backup units. Matter of fact, that's what we're using now, one that was actually installed in 1956.
Well, how about our motors? Are they installed now, or where are we at on that?
Oh, well, we're still waiting on,
engineering, right?
well, the engineering is done. We're waiting on the submittals as far as the equipment goes. So we're probably looking at, I'm guessing, another couple months before they'll start installing anything down there.
I know some of the finance guys and the engineers that works over there, you know.
Why don't you, Ronnie, you head that committee and get that worked up with Bill, and let's get them over here and see what we can do and see how important it is to them. Is that all right, the rest of you?
Yes.
Okay. We'll do that. We'll talk about it later, bro. Get with it and we'll set it up.
I guess about the only other thing that I really have, and I don't know if the mayor wants to talk about this or not just yet, but that's our contract arbitration.
As you all know, we transferred a man with less seniority up to the water plant because he had the credentials we needed to run the water plant. And so the union, IBEW, filed a grievance, and we denied the grievance here at this board. And then they told us they were going to go to arbitration, so we began to pick an arbitrator. And we haven't done that yet, but we're in the process. In the meantime, Bill has negotiated a settlement, and I think sounds pretty reasonable, and basically what we're going to do is take this guy that we put up at the water plant and create a new classification, which that's where he should be, because the original classification is operator, and this guy would be the assistant operator mechanic. And
Requirement of the
we were going to offer him 50 cents an hour more for that position. His counterpart, the operator, gets $1 more than that an hour. And then the guy that actually was denied the job that has more seniority, that works at the sewage treatment plant, we were going to also create a classification for him, because he's the one that actually lost the pay. He's the one that got hurt in this transfer. And we would take the other 50 cents and offer it to him, possibly. Or just change classification.
Well, actually, the classification for the wastewater plant is already there.
Okay.
We would
Just move him up.
We would just simply bid that job out with the hopes that he would bid on that. And there's a difference of 22 cents an hour.
22 cents
as to what he
an hour.
makes now.
I thought that was a good compromise to going to arbitration, but I need your approval to do that.
So the fellow that's up there now with the credentials will stay?
Yes.
And he'll have an assistant, did you tell me?
No, he will be the assistant.
Oh, okay.
Right now, he is one grade classification underneath of our chief certified operator up there. This move right here would basically put him in that same pay grade with a new subcategory stipulating that he would have to have the WT3 license to remain in that job. So he would stay at the
Okay.
water plant, which essentially would give him the same pay scale as a grade 1. But with the requirement of his job to have the WT3 certification, he would not be able to claim it as an additional license. I'm not sure if that's clear.
This additional license means more money.
Yeah.
Okay, well, was money the issue with the guy that filed it?
The money?
Was that the main issue?
Well, no, I don't think the money was the main
Seniority
issue.
was.
I think the seniority was the biggest thing. You know, we've always had a practice in the past to give the senior person
Sure.
A chance at fulfilling those jobs.
Provided they certified.
As long as they met the requirements, yeah. That's the only difference in this instance is the way we've done it in the past.
This would take an addendum to the union contract because we're creating a classification up there. We would have to have an agreement with them.
And that would require a language change, correct?
It would require a language change.
And if you want to do this, I think it's a good compromise rather than go to arbitration. We don't want to fight with our employees. And I understand seniority, but I also understand that we put the person that was most qualified
Well, yeah, we couldn't
and had
violate.
the credentials.
We couldn't violate state law. I mean,
That's right.
that's what we are.
So I think we done what was right, but the guy with the upper seniority did get, he did not get it according to the contract. But he did not have those credentials, however, he has credentials down at the treatment plant.
Right.
I think the main thing here is we're keeping people in the position that they need to be kept in.
Sure.
And I
Jen?
feel that we've got a pretty strong case in
Compensating them.
arbitration, but,
Well,
an arbitrator may not feel that way.
Will we have to go to arbitration if
No.
we do?
Not if they agree, and if
Well,
they don't agree,
If we
we're,
agree to that, the arbitration case will go away.
if they don't agree to that, we're going to arbitration.
They mean the union?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you touched
I've
cases?
been-
but they
I've
called
been
you,
given
right?
blessings by the union.
Oh,
that If
okay.
we agree with
Yeah,
that criteria.
they called you.
it'll work.
Okay.
You have anything on that, Jane?
No, he just answered the question I was gonna ask. The union is on board at this point, yeah.
You ready? You want a motion on this, Your Honor, or how we?
Yeah, as long as you guys are comfortable with
No.
it.
I would like to avoid arbitration because we've been there before and we get those liberal arbitrators and
You don't
with
know how
a whole lot of common sense, in my opinion, and they give it to the cities. It's not only here in Connersville, but I've seen in other communities that the city always loses the scenes, so I don't know.
I make a motion, Your Honor, that we accept this to create.
Well, it would be an offer to the union
An
to
offer.
compromise here.
To compromise on, and create a new bid for this new subcategory to the Water Department, grade 1.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll
Second.
say- Ron,
That's
second.
fine, either
Ron
one.
second. Any further discussion?
Anything
All in favor,
is
say aye.
arbitration.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We got one more thing, Bill, I want to discuss with this board. We went to a 1-month billing. We bill everybody at the same time of the month. We started that, we're doing our third time right about now.
Right now, yes.
Okay. On the second go-around, we had 90 shut-offs over that billing. That takes 2 men going out in the truck and shutting the water off, and 89 of those, 2 men in a truck that afternoon go and turn them back on. And we're doing this, and this would take an ordinance, but I want to bring it to you because you run the utility. I talked with Bill and I talked with the utility manager. We charge a $20 fee to turn that water back on, plus they have to pay the old bill and what's due. They have to pay it up to date, plus $20. That don't seem to bother anybody. And what I'd like to see happen here, the habitual people that do this constantly, cause us to send 2 men at $18 an hour out to shut it off, 2 men at $18 an hour to go turn it on, all in the same day, and we are very careful that we don't let them go with water overnight. So we gotta run in and run out. I thought about doing an escalating penalty, which would take a change in the ordinance, but we would go like this. If the same person in a 12-month period we had to do this 3 times, the next time the penalty would escalate like to 30. If we have to do it 4 times, to 40, 50. Try to deter this. We're wasting our time and our money running around turning people's water off and on just because they don't want to pay the bill the day it's due. But they find the money to pay it when we shut it off. And 90 people is ridiculous.
I agree.
And it's just, I talked with John about it, I think it's legal, isn't it, if we put it in ordinance form.
It is, right. Yeah, you can structure your rates about any way you want to, within reason.
You must remember, when we're paying all this money out, that's money that the other ratepayers are losing because they're paying the bill for these turn-offs and these turn-ons constantly. Now, I've talked to a few other cities, and lots of cities have it where they can turn it off and turn it on at the office. Automatic. I don't know how they do that, but you probably know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're not there. We aren't gonna be there for a long time. But boy, when you gotta pay people to run out there and do that and accommodate people.
I think we need to.
So we would need to make a recommendation to the city council as to how that would work. And I'm gonna pick on you, Ron, you're the water man, you've got pipes and valves.
Okay.
You and Mike work with Bill and see if there's some way we could
Can I ask a
structure
question
something.
here?
Yeah.
Why are we sending two guys to turn the water on?
Yeah, I asked the same question, and they tell me, what are you laughing at?
Okay.
They say
I mean,
that
I'm not opposing anything, I was wondering why we send two guys to
when
turn
you
it
turn
on.
the water off, you could get shot at. Now, I don't know why you get
The
shot
one's
at.
a guard?
Yeah, kind of, it's unsafe, that's what they say.
It is kind of a safety matter.
But why do we need it when they turn it off?
Well,
They're not bad anymore.
You were talking about $20 and then the next time $30 and the next time.
Well, I don't know, we'll have to have a graduating
be some-
scale.
A graduating scale, if $20 doesn't hurt, $30 isn't gonna hurt. If it's 20, then the next time.
You could go
it's
20,
fif-
50,
I
100,
think
you know.
it needs
Yeah,
to,
I
the
think
second
so.
time, if they're habituals, it needs to hurt a little bit. It's not gonna get anybody's attention.
No, the office manager tells me, when the water's off, they function. When the water's not on, they function. You know, they find the money. But it's not fair to the regular ratepayers that pay on time and pay every month to have to saddle, and they're paying part of that bill because when we have to send all those men around all the time. But you can talk to Bill while you're on that committee about that 2 men and 2 men.
Okay. We'll kind of address that.
Yes.
I'm just throwing this out there. Is this something we should look at, or
I
you
think
think?
so, I agree,
I agree,
yes.
most definitely.
All right, well, let's have
A lot
a
of
committee
money.
and work on that, Bill, and let's see what we can end up with. Maybe we can cut that down to 10 a month or 15 or something.
Well, I'm hoping that as time goes on, this is just the third time that we've actually went through this process. And the second billing actually dropped about 30.
But if you add up when we were doing 3 billings, it was way too much too.
Oh, absolutely.
But we have cut it down to 1 billing, which is saving a lot of time. They're getting cross-training done. It's really a good thing in the
There's
office.
not a crowd on the 15th, hasn't been.
No, it's not too bad. I'm kind of interested to see just the way that we're receiving bills, how that's going to change. I haven't seen enough data on it yet, but I do know that right after the first of the month, we get a tremendous amount of mail. So most people are paying them, and paying them timely, but there's always the ones that the mayor's talking about that I'm not sure what it will take.
We don't want to punish anybody, but we also don't want to put the regular ratepayers that do a good job
Right.
paying the bill. That's what's happening here.
They are punishing the other people that's paying, that's correct.
And we've got people out there that just simply won't pay their bills, and then we've got some that struggles as well, so.
And we work with
Trying to
those
find a
people.
happy medium.
I don't know how many water bills I've paid since I've been mayor. Too many, I know that.
You pay them on time?
No, they call me up and they cry and I feel bad, so I pay the bill. Then the next month, they don't pay again.
I know where to go now.
We don't call him up anymore.
Okay.
I got no speed.
The customer called
Anyway,
Anyway, I'm done with you then, Bill.
thank you.
Don't forget the birthday party at 3:30.
Yes, sir.
And we ought to have a representative of the utility up there with us when we pass this resolution in the State House. You work something out. Did you have anything for us today? You just came for the fun of it.
We came with
You must
cake.
be bored in life. What else did we have on there? Anything? Any public got anything today? There's no public left, is there? Good. Old business, we got any old business, Julie?
I know of.
Miscellaneous business, anybody here, you guys got anything you wanna consider?
I had a phone call of a citizen, and I haven't checked this out, I'm sure they're right. They were discussing the lights on Western Avenue. They said that there's a lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted gas because of the sequence of the lights on Western. Does anybody have that?
You're absolutely right. We had those when we had the factories over there, and I proposed that to the council 2 or 3 years ago, and they turned it down flat. They want to keep the lights going. It should flash caution, north and south, and
Yeah.
it should flash red, east and west. It's stupid to waste all that gas, but.
Well, I believe you pointed out to the industry on that side of the city wanted them, because they could never get access to Western Avenue if they came on 18th Street.
No, we don't have much industry that comes out there anymore.
Cote, Blower Company, and Stanton.
No, the neighbors up there wanted to leave it like it was, you know, they don't like change. We talked about that, you were on the council
The
then.
other thing was speed, it wasn't anything.
I think it was a speed issue going up Western
60
Avenue.
mile an hour up through there, what was talked about.
But it just does stop people, that's all it does. And you stand in line to go, and there's nobody coming the other way.
Was that something you think we need to look into? Maybe
It's the same way we wanted
18, 60 mile an hour.
We looked at that a few years ago, and the neighbors up there come in and raise all kinds of cane.
They want to leave it like it is.
I know that in the evenings, 18th and Western's really busy. North is, I mean, it is.
I think they were
wouldn't wait.
they brought up the idea of maybe certain hours during the day doing a flashing thing. I think that's what they were talking about, so there's not a stop in the
It'd
middle
be
of the
quicker
afternoon.
too if they would understand who's got the right of way next. It all goes right, clear around.
Yeah, a lot of
Who's gonna go? Who's
sit
gonna
there.
go? That's, I see it every day.
Yeah. I don't know if that needs to be looked at again, or who does those kind of studies for the city. I don't really know.
Why don't you take a look at that again?
Is it viable solution?
See what happens.
So we used to have traffic control signals there. But you could put a traffic control signal there and have it timed mainly on most of the time when, you know, and then stop for a little bit and let the other side go for a short period of time and then hit it again for north and southbound. And we done a study before, before Hicks left, and we proposed that, but I think a whole bunch of people came in and started raising cane because they like it like it is because of the speed, and it's frustrating because what happens is that it'll back sometimes all the way to 21st and from 21st all the way to 18th, and sometimes I've seen it past 18th coming north. And when the truckers slow down, you ever notice how especially in the summertime, the road gets rippled. And so I think a traffic control signal with a timer on it being more so north and south than let the cross traffic go would probably be the route to go.
In most cities, they're trying to put roundabouts in and keep traffic flowing. They're not trying to stop it.
Right.
And you don't really stop traffic or slow speed down by stopping in the middle of it. They just jump on it on the north side and the south side.
Working.
Most people just slide right through it if you stand there and watch. They do, they don't stop.
Well, maybe we ought to look at it again, maybe.
The chief was up there the other day, and he doesn't do much, but he was up there looking at it.
Gas prices and so on, maybe they'll.
He got a guy up there that just slid through it, so he pulled him over and stopped him. And he told the guy, and I'm telling you a story. He told the guy, he said, you know, you're supposed to come to a dead stop at that light. He says, well, there was nobody coming either way, and he said, you know, I kind of looked both ways, and I slipped through there. He said, I slowed down good. And the chief says, no, you don't understand. You're supposed to stop here. He said, I don't get it. He said, I slowed down real good. So the chief took his nightstick out and began to beat him on the head, and he said, you want me to slow down or stop? That really happened, didn't it? We're wasting time having birthday parties.
I've gotta go.
Telling stories, and Jane gotta go to work.
Thanks for the public relations, Mary.
We have our claims, I think, is all we got left.
You ready for utilities?
I don't care.
Water claims was $70,940.84. Sewer claims was $78,865.99. Stormwater was $7,314.18, for a total of $157,121.01.
city claims were 198 in total, and the money was only $46,826.35. And the top three were for diesel fuel for the street department, gasoline for the street department, and gasoline for the police department during the last 2 weeks. So, as we all know, fuel prices are high.
I move we accept the claims that they've been submitted.
Second, please.
Got a motion to accept the claims. Are there any further discussion? Is there a second? I did.
A second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I'd entertain a motion to
I
adjourn.
make a motion that we adjourn this meeting. Second.
Got a second? All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.
Let me sign those first.